Jamie, it's been an amazing 12 months. I don't know where to start, but let's start at the end. And congratulations on being voted Trainer of the Year.
Cheers, mate. Yeah, it was a bit of a shock, but the last 12 months have been a bit of a shock, really. Just where it came from, you know, it's sort of bolt out of the blue. I was just in the gym with Tommy, really, me and Nigel and Tommy, looking for the exit door. And I was saying,
because you were thinking of packing in after Tommy
I said, as soon as Tommy, he's done with boxing, I said, then I'm knocking this training on the head, because, you know, we was putting a lot of graft in and we'd had a few little setbacks. I thought it was unfortunate to not get the decision against Tyrone Nurse, and then the next sort of 12 months there was a lot of injuries for Tommy, so it was stop start. It was a bit disheartening, and I just said, as soon as Tommy's done, I'm done. I couldn't have been any further from the truth. It's been sort of flipped on its head, and through a few different circumstances came around. Unfortunately, Oliver was poorly, and that he asked me if I'd help out with Martin and Rocky, and that's where that came from. And then Carl rang me, and then Stephen and Conrad came with Carl, and Jack Catterall came. Marc Leach is here, so yeah, it's been a massive turnaround, big life change for me. Because
how are you coping with that? Because you're from part-time coach to now ridiculously full-time coach.
Yeah, it took a while to get used to it. You know, not gonna lie, it was because I was doing bits of personal training in the mornings as well before the gym got that busy that I've just had to stop doing it, and you know, it's a good problem to have, because I love boxing, you know, and in some ways, when I retired from boxing, I think you lose part of yourself, or part of the love for boxing. The Sky stuff kept me involved and kept me massively involved, so I was probably closest to the big fights you can get without actually being involved in them yourself. And then once I started sort of training a few fighters, you sort of get that little bit of a feeling of the adrenaline and the buzz from it, but nothing ever replaces it. And I think I didn't even realise it, I don't think, but steadily over the time I just sort of was falling slowly out of love with it, because I wasn't actually competing in it, whereas every now and again Tommy would fight, so it wasn't that often, and then you'd get that little bit of a buzz again. But I mean, last year I've not counted, but we've had over 20 fights definitely, because most of them are on my calendar. Doesn't really go into last year, but in that 12-month period which counts for the votes, we had close to 30 fights. Had one loss and one draw, so I knew we had a good season, and I mean, I expected
a good season. You also picked up a world champion.
Yeah, do you know what? And I think
that must have been brilliant, that to go away from home and to do it in the style that you did.
Thing for me, not just winning a world title for Rock, but the manner what he did it and the circumstances. I mean, not many people go to Germany and win a world title, never mind in the way that he did it. So so all those little things. Tommy Coyle winning the Commonwealth title for me was a massive one. I'm so gutted still that I wasn't able to be there, but it was just, again, that's another problem, which is a good problem to have, because when you're that busy, that means you're doing a good thing. I think it helped Tommy as well, because I think sometimes in the past he's relied on me a little bit too much psychologically, and it helped him grow up a bit and thought, right, I'm going to take this by the scruff of the neck and go out there and do it myself, and he did. So, you know, the amount of conversations me and Tommy have had in this gym about me saying to him, I don't think you realise how good you are and you should have more confidence in yourself. And I think that situation was probably a blessing in disguise, because it made him go away and take it upon himself to get his own sort of belief and confidence. And a little scenario with when he sparred Carl Frampton, and Carl went mad at him and said, why don't you box more when you're fighting, you know, you can box on the outside, and I think the penny dropped with him that day. He realised he was such a good fighter, and I've been telling him that for years. But for somebody who he respects so much in Carl to say it to him.
Well, do you think that's been the major difference with Carl Frampton? You know, even though he's only a little man, the confidence that he brings into this gym is phenomenal, isn't it?
Yeah, I think him, you know, experienced fighters like him and Martin, Rocky now as well, but Tommy's an experienced fighter himself, just didn't really understand. And I think Tommy being around all those experienced fighters and understanding, well, you know what, I've been through a lot of the stuff you've been through, but he still didn't really have the confidence they had, and it's flipped a switch with him, because I've never seen him as confident as he is at this point as he is now in his career. So he's got a big fight in Boston coming up. It's a great stage for him to be on, and it's a great opportunity. It's another one ticked off his bucket list, which, you know, he's at the stage now, Tom. He's got a real good business brain on him. He's helping the community. He's doing a lot of stuff for the kids in Hull, and he doesn't need to box in that sense. He's got a couple of different businesses going. He's set himself up nicely, so he's in a privileged situation where he's coming towards the end of his career, and he can enjoy it, and he can pick and choose what he does, and it's a great situation to be in. So Eddie's given the opportunity to box in Boston. It's a great away day for the lads. We're gonna rent an apartment in New York, and Martin, Rocky and Carl will come out and start their training camps properly over there with us. So again, it's just, we've had a great year. We've had some great training camps away in Tenerife. Everyone thinks it's a lad's holiday, and the videos, I'm not surprised sometimes you think so, but that's just a little window of time in the full day.
Wherever you are, you have that type of feeling, don't you? I come in this gym and
not everyone films it. You know what I mean? And Martin and Tommy, you know, heavy into the being busy on social media, and it's great because people got to see the other side to the training camp. It's not all about flipping getting up and having raw eggs in the morning and doing your road work, and you don't have to be a monk in the sense of you don't enjoy yourself while you're in training camp. Of course you can still have a laugh and stuff. I think people have been scared in the past of it looking like they're enjoying themselves, because people go, you're not taking it serious, and that's not the case. I think you get more out of people if they're relaxed and enjoying themselves.
Well, I think,
because then when I turn around to them and say, right, listen, you need to do this now, they know that they've got to do it. You know, they understand if I get serious, then they know there's something serious needs to be done, because I'm rarely in a serious mood, other than when I have to be in the boxing gym at the right time.
Well, I mean, I think it tells, doesn't it, with the performances that you're bringing out with these guys. You're bringing best performances out of them, when a lot of people thought a lot of these guys' careers were over.
Well, yeah, and I think that's a testament to themselves. They've stayed dedicated. I think it's not. I'm not going to sit here and say it's down to me, because it's not just down to me. I've helped him, but it's been a combination of different things, certain circumstances. You know, Carl Frampton people were saying that he's finished. He's far from finished. So this game is 70% psychological. You know, if your psychology's right and you get your mindset right, the rest of it will all fall into place. And Carl got himself into a rut where he was thinking, you know, I don't like this game anymore. The sooner I'm out, the better. And just by him being allowed to enjoy his boxing and, you know, tweaking a few things, sitting him down with, you know, some experts in different fields at the MIP in Manchester, where they've explained stuff about the human body and how it needs to rest and repair in between hard training sessions. You don't have to train hard all the time. I try to explain it to him, and they can explain it in better terms, so they get the point across more. So when you take all those little things and add them all together, everything starts slowly falling into place. So Carl's now performing because he feels like performing. He's not now tired. By the time the fight comes round, he's chomping at the bit, going, I can't wait to go in there and perform. And there's a massive difference. That's not just a physical thing, that's a mental thing.
Well, I mean, you've had no close season. You've worked all the way through it, fight after fight after fight.
I had 6 days. I had 6 days off this year.
But
no, literally, I've had 6 days off. Not including Sundays. I get every Sunday off. But I've had 6 days off since New Year.
And yet you're still smiling.
I'm always smiling. That's why I look Chinese all the time. But do you know what? It's not work. I don't want people to start thinking, oh, you don't work. And of course I work, because this is my job, but it's not work. A wise Irishman once said to me, if you never want to work a day in your life, find something you love and find a way to get paid for it. And that's exactly what I'm doing. I didn't realise I was falling out of love with it until 12 months ago, when this gym started to get busier and I started to get the boxing bug back, and I now want them to achieve whatever they want to achieve, and I love helping them do it. So it's not about me. So everyone, I've had so many people saying congratulations, you deserve it, and you know what, I really appreciate all the nice messages, but at the end of it all, it's just an award, really. The real awards are the lads getting the results, and not just the results, even the ones where they've not gone our way. The application from the lads couldn't have been any less than 100%. They've applied themselves every single time, and that's all I've ever asked. All I've ever said, listen, I'll help you achieve whatever you want, but I expect you to put in as much effort as I will, or as I did when I was a fighter. And if you're not, then I'm not willing to help you out, because it only looks bad on me then. So I don't care if, obviously I do care if they lose, I don't mean it in that way, but as long as they give 100% application and they do the weight right, and they've done everything I've asked, if they lose a fight genuinely to a better man, then I've no issue with that. I've no issue with that at all, because that's just how it goes, that's boxing. But I can't work with somebody who won't apply themselves as much as I did when I was a fighter.
Well, can I just say something? Every time I come down here, you know, because obviously this is, you know, my office, isn't it? Yeah. And so I come down here, fortunate, regular, and every time I've come into the gym and I've watched you work on tactics, I've seen those tactics come into play and win fights. I've seen what you did with Rocky. The things that won that fight for Rocky were what you're working on, and there weren't things that I was actually expecting. So I think as well as the talent that the lads are bringing to the team, I'm pretty sure that Trainer of the Year award is very worthy.
Well, yeah, well, I had a real good teacher in Oliver Harrison. So Oliver Harrison he taught me the importance of tactics, and I'd never really even thought about it that much until when I first started training him full time when I was about 22, 23, and the big sort of lesson was the Macklin fight, because I still believe to this day I would have lost that fight if I'd gone and fought the fight the way I thought I should go and fight the fight. And when Oliver 10 weeks before the fight set the tactics out, I was thinking, you're mad, and I actually said to him, that's going to be some fight if that's how we're going to go about it. And he said that's the way to beat Macklin. And it was make him miss up close, sit in the pocket, and then as soon as he stopped punching, I had to punch, and that's what made it the fight it was. But I never realised how physically strong Macklin was until I was in there with him. So I was always the stronger fighter, so I would have banked on me being the stronger fighter, and probably would have got in there and realised I wasn't the stronger fighter, and then I would have had no plan B. So I realised that it was so important to get the tactics right, and obviously from my point of view as a fighter, I was disciplined enough to follow them through, even though there was different pockets in that fight where mentally I was starting to think I can't keep doing this because I was physically so tired. But then I persevered with it, and eventually I won. So lessons as a fighter for me are then invaluable for then passing lessons on to fighters when you're teaching them, when you're talking about tactics. And you know, a lot of the time I'll say about setting traps and stuff, if it doesn't work first time or second time, don't go away from it. Don't think that it's not going to work. Just because it didn't work in that individual scenario doesn't mean that it's not going to work. You need to persevere with it.
Do you find it easy to work out tactics? Can you watch something quite quickly and think this could work for him, or do you have to study and study?
I feel like I've always been a bit of a boxing nerd, so I've always studied boxing in that sense. But you know what, I feel what's helped me a lot in without even really understanding it was going to help me, was working for Sky, because a big part of that job is to go through all the notes of the fighters who are on the bill, and basically look at their strengths, look at their weaknesses, and decide who you feel is going to win that fight based on their attributes. So without really understanding it, I was analysing fighters' styles and deciding who was going to win.
It was great preparation for.
Most of the time I was getting it right. So then I'm doing exactly that now, except I've got to decide how the other fighter is not going to beat my fighter, and decide the best way that my fighter is going to go out and beat them. And I think that's a big or one of the most important things for me for a trainer to be is aware of your fighters' vulnerabilities and what maybe their weaknesses are, because one of the most important things is to protect them from that. So no fighter is without a weakness somewhere, but the very best ones are the ones who are good at protecting where they're weak, or avoiding situations which leaves them open to vulnerability. So, you know, the simple fact of the matter is, in a boxing match, the one who hits the other one most times the hardest, he's probably going to win. Whereas if you look at it from a different point of view, if you can make the guy miss you more than he can make you miss, then it's probably going to still work out the same result, but from a different way. So you still end up at the same goal, but you go about it a different way. And I keep saying to him, listen, don't stop obsessed with punch output. That's not necessarily the case. You're better off choosing the right shots at the right time. So, you know, and instead of... Do
you wish you would have known some of this when you were fighting? I know you knew it, but you...
Well, I didn't, not to this extent, but of course, how many... There's not that saying, hindsight's a great thing, or I wish I'd have known this when I was playing. It's just, it's not an old saying for no reason, is it? Of course, knowledge is key, and the sooner you find it out, the better. But I never really understood it.
You know what's scary though, Jamie?
Later on in my career,
you're still just a young coach, and with just 1 year of proper experience.
I'm 40 soon, and
but that's young.
It is. And I was thinking about this morning actually. When I was in the corner with Tommy Coyle, the first proper fight I had with him was Derry Matthews for the Commonwealth title. I was 33. 33 years old, head of the corner for the Commonwealth title outdoors in Hull. This next fight after that, I was top of the bill at Atlantic City with Matt Macklin, live on HBO. It's crazy. I literally got picked up and dropped in the deep end as far as coaching's concerned. And you know, I'm not going to tell you lies, it was a lot of pressure, and I didn't really know what I was doing at the time. I was still very much in a fighter's mindset then, rather than a coach's mindset, and I was just passing on sort of advice, which very much, if any of these fighters who are in the gym was in the corner with one of the other fighters, that's what they do. I was definitely in that sort of mindset, and but that's helped me massively, because God, the amount of work we've had to do this year and the amount of corners we've been in, it's worked out. Nearly every other weekend we've been at a show in the corner somewhere all over the country, and it stood me in good stead. It's a good job I've got a patient wife, because her life's been flipped upside down at the same time, because he's now, you know, my life's more full of boxing now than it was when I was fighting, because at least I got some time off after fights, whereas now I just don't get any time. But you know, I'm not going to complain, because most people who have got a job now, they'll be at work and they'll be going, you know what, I hate my job, and I don't. I love what I do. I love being able to come in the gym every day, and it's something different. Like, we've just been in the ring now with Rocky, working on different little tactics, and we don't even know who he's fighting yet. But
has his mindset changed now he's achieved that world title status?
You can see his confidence is soaring now, because I know he's always had a good amount of belief in himself, but I think that, combined with the way the gym is at the minute and the confidence they're all getting off each other, has took him to another level. And then getting that performance and getting the win the way he did it in the manner what he did it has given him massive self-belief now. And I tell you what, whoever he's in with next time, they're going to have to be at the best, because he's a dangerous fighter, Rocky Fielding.
What a fantastic. Well, if you don't mind, can I ask a few predictions? You've got another massive fight coming up with Jack Catterall against OD. That's this weekend.
Yeah.
What's your predictions there?
As I said last week at the press conference, it's a dangerous fight. I think O'Hara Davis is a massive puncher. That's, there's no mistaking that. But when you're fighting someone like Jack Catterall, who's so hard to pin down, he's hard to catch cleanly. He's got a great boxing brain. He can work the body well. He's got a good jab. It's the equivalent to buying a lottery ticket. That's what he's going to rely on, just landing that one shot, and that's not enough to beat someone like Jack Catterall. Similar to the way he went about with Josh Taylor. He went in there trying to blast him out, and once his plan A doesn't work, or he doesn't land you with that one big right hand, he doesn't really know. He can't outwork Jack. He can't beat him on the inside. He can't beat him boxing on the outside. He can just maybe land that one big shot. So it's more for Jack to lose than O'Hara to win. He's right on it. He's in such a good place mentally.
Do you think there's been much change? He's been with you about 6 months now, has he?
He's been since January.
So
yeah,
what,
a bit
9 months?
Longer than that, about 9 months. Yeah, but again, you can just see he's oozing confidence. The last fight against Tyrone McKenna was a great learning fight for him, because he could have got Tyrone out there early if his decision making early on in the fight, he sort of seen red a little bit when he hurt him early on, and jumped in, emptied his tank, threw loads and loads of punches. Whereas if he'd have took his time a little bit, selected his shots better, and he got a bit carried away and hit him when he was going down on the floor, which bought him some time. So again, it wasn't necessarily what he did, it was when he did it and how he went about doing it. So he understands that, and he took good lessons from that. And,
do you take lessons from that as well? So do you know the right things to say to him now?
Well, it was difficult, but don't forget, that was our third fight with Jack,
and he had two blowouts, weren't he?
Two 1-round wins.
Yeah.
I'd never spoke to him in the corner until he came back at the end of the first round against Tyrone McKenna. So that basically, you can call that our first fight, really.
Yeah.
Under pressure. So yeah, he's in a real good place. I expect him to do a similar sort of job to Josh Taylor.
Because this is basically a world title eliminator, isn't it? Whoever wins this gets a shot at a world title at some point.
Yeah, it looks like Maurice Hooker. I think he's got a mandatory already. I'm not 100% sure, but you'd like to think that by the next summer he'd be there or thereabouts fighting for a world title. Yeah.
And then obviously got massive fights coming up, but the one that we're going to have to talk about is Frampton against Josh.
Yeah.
You're in a hard place, aren't you? Because
I was laughing with Steve last week. He said, I can't believe I'm going to be banned out of my own gym. But it's just one of the things. The thing is, I've known Josh for years. Obviously I'm partners with Steve, we've got the gym together, we've got the boxing equipment business. So it's just part of boxing. I fought Matt Macklin, who was a good mate of mine, and he still is a good mate of mine. It's just, sometimes you come across situations where you just got to go in against people, so it's not an ideal situation, but listen, at least they're both getting paid a
do you know
lot of
something
money.
though? It's a fight that you just know that's going to deliver.
Fight. Exactly. I said it at the press conference, it can't be anything but a good fight for the fans. Style wise, they're going to blend, and rarely you get, everyone anticipates fights being good, but rarely there's a situation where you go, you know what, this could be nothing but a good fight, and that's what it's going to be. So the fans will enjoy it, the lads will get well paid, and then me and Steve will have a little side bet, and one of us will walk away with a bit of dough.
Well, listen, it's like I say, it's been amazing, absolutely amazing 12 months.
Yeah.
Both you and Nigel will deserve everything that's come your way, because you are a part of a great team.
No, it has. It's been good, mate, and long may it continue, because I was saying this before, it don't last forever. We've seen it over the years, generally you get a sort of lifetime period, and then things dwindle off, but I want to be retired in Tenerife by the time I'm 50, so I've got to give it a 10-year plan, and then we'll be gone.
Alright mate, take care.
Cheers.
Bye.